Let's pick through what's useful. If you find anything of merit, report it to the Iron Marshal. And Fatebinder, thanks for making the right call. Every time we show the locals a dram of civility, they spit on our good nature. Let us never fall for their treachery again. There we go. Well. And they're gone.
Moving cautiously.
Bloody subterfuge, I should have leveled it up. Alright, fine, whatever.
Will do.
Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. Okay. Well, you're a traveling companion for the time being, so you have my ear. But first, store. Stores allow you to trade and sell your items. What? Copper rings or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with a much higher cost, okay? What's that? The voices Narat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel like I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? You have to deliver an edict from Kairos. I'm actually trying to tally the expense of the siege. I have nothing to tell you. Why so suspicious? What else has the voices of Narat told you? I'm going to use Subterfuge. Did the voices of Narat ask you to spy on me? 21. Nice. At a loss for words, Verse regards you with a momentary unease. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business, so is snatching up any advantage over Grive and Ash. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The voices are just curious why you're here. If you wanted to know more, you wouldn't be able to suss it out that easily. You would have sent one of the scarier peons in my stead. Okay. I mean, law and subterfuge. It seems odd that law is the lie, whereas subterfuge is not. That seems odd, but at the same time, maybe it's because of her personality type. It's a tricky one. Oh, I would love another coffee. Thank you.
Isn't any... You have to have milk.
Oh, milk in a coffee?
Milk.
Man.
That's all that's left.
Okay. Well, skip the Irish cream, and I will have it black and strong enough to stand a spoon up in it.
I'll make it black.
Okay. Thank you. Diolch yn fawr. No. No sugar. Let's see. I'm not going to lie to my traveling companion. What else has the voice of Narat told you? Only that I could find you in Endring Ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last few months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it. And this, I'm going to straight up be honest, I'm not going to use my law on this one. Because I don't feel that my character would lie to someone who is even temporarily a part of their pack. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? I'm not going to tell her that. That isn't for her. I was sent to deliver it to the Archons. I've gained fear with verse. Ooh. If you're telling the truth, I suppose I'll hear about it soon enough anyway. She nods to herself. Why so suspicious? Well, no, I don't need that. Enough of this. I must meet with the Archons. Hey, don't let me hold you back. I'm sure whatever you're here to do is important enough that you don't need me stepping in your path. The war tent is just past the camp. Oh. Fear. Like, does this affect things? I want to find out. So interesting. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. I'm going to be right back because Lady Sheila left the door open and she's grinding coffee beans, so give me just a second. There we go. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. Okay. Reputation ability unlocked. Verse loyalty ability. Death from above. Ooh, okay. Well, let's have a look at this then. A tearsman hardened by conflict. Verse elevated in the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus by killing her superiors. So, at loyalty history, Verse was pleased by your feisty, chaotic inclinations. You caught onto Verse's subterfuge. Verse was elated by your feisty, chaotic inclinations 6 times. Verse was appalled by your orderly, honourable ways. Verse was disappointed by your orderly, honourable ways. Fury's rage. Project intense flames towards Verse, which she catches on her blades and spins into an aura of wreathing flame around her. Nearby foes take burn damage. Okay. And this one, death from above. Launch Verse into the air, allowing her to unleash a series of well-aimed arrows into the target from above. Each of these arrows strikes true and has armor penetration. Oh my lord, really? I just hoist her into the air and she starts... Oh, that's very anime, but I approve, I think. The Conqueror's Will. Kairos Edict must be personally delivered to the Archons. We can't get in there. Right now, that's not going to happen, so that's fine. Before we go in there, though, I want to have a look around. What do we got? Nothing over there. Anything up here? Look, this isn't my first rodeo. I know that you need to look everywhere first. A humble grave lies before you. A battered sword has been used as a marker. The initial B.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix.
Oh, okay.
We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
Alright, so his son died. Right, okay. Huh. I'm sure that little bit of lore is going to help us at some point. How? I don't know yet, but I'm sure it will. Who do we have here? Step closer and present yourself. Alright then. Oh, what's that? The wood used for these parapets is pristine and finely cut. These walls have yet to see any battle. The disfavored insignia has been violently defaced. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. I am Tunon's Fatebinder. Stand aside. I'm expected. Ah, so you're the fire starter. Okay, so that favor and wrath and loyalty and fear, right? So favor and wrath is for a faction, I'm guessing, and loyalty and fear is for an individual. Okay, so this is a conquest decision. In 430 TR, the final year of the conquest of the Tiers, the Sage of the Vellum Citadel were expected to surrender without a fight. When the sages violently defended themselves in the prolonged siege, Kairos unleashed an edict of fire, reducing the library's fortress to smoldering ruins. You were given the honor of proclaiming this edict of fire. On those present, you are often known as the fire starter. Though your orders left it vague as to when you should proclaim the edict, you chose to give the sages a few hours' warning. The Scarlet Chorus soldiers seemed fine with your decision, claiming they had spies amongst the sages who deserved to escape. But the disfavored viewed the decision more coldly and consider it coddling the enemy. Servers and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' Edict of Fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it. Must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. Go on. Soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of the camp. Conqueror's Will. The two Archons are currently meeting inside Grieve and Ash's tent to the north end of the camp. Very well. And yes, if you haven't got a tune starting to play in your head, then I don't even know what you're doing with your life. These arrows were fletched with precision and care. This cart is bursting with fresh food and useful goods. Alright. KM French, thank you so much for the resub there. These spears are uniform in their quality craftsmanship. Sparring dummy shows a deep gouges of hard use. Sure. Yoink, mine now. What do you say? I'm itching to get back on the battlefield. Don't be too fast.
I'll be your shadow.
Okay. Didn't ask you to be, but in fact, given it's you, that's a little bit disconcerting, but I suppose it's okay for now. So. Mine.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh, okay, fine. Bloody 37 Subterfuge. Aavak, how did you miss out on playing this game for so long, by the way? I just didn't have it. That's pretty much the be-all and end-all of it. I was feeling a little bit bad about not having finished my Pillars of Eternity run, and I kept wanting to finish that before I took on something else, but I don't know. It just felt right to start it now, especially as a stream game. A Satanist curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft, but our supplies are spent. He wipes the sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch, don't get me wrong. It can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't a problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around camp. We're grabbing the Legion head to toe. Garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. I'll take care, Van. They call the Disfavoured the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths in Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage. I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing in the Echo Call crossing, and I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that their valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. My Satanist flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass any information to the Vendrien guard. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on the riverbed. Worst case, it ends up in enemy hands. Embarrassing displays of incompetence. If I find myself in Echo Call, I suppose I can keep an eye out. I appreciate that. As does the Great General. More than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer his thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. I'm not going to do that one. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances to a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous, so people don't go snooping around. You'll want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Need something? I'll take a look at your way, sure. Let's see. Well, that's all you've got. Some crescent ruined armor. Crescent ruined armor. What am I talking about? Not much better than mine. Stone shield armor. New. Stone shield boots. Well, that one isn't necessarily bad, but I prefer what we've got. Stone shield gloves. Now, that one is better in every way. So yeah, I'll take that. What about you? That is a lot better. What's the difference between them? Nothing that I can see, actually. Interesting. The boots, definitely worth an upgrade for you. Now, unfortunately, that's pretty much all I can afford. It's kind of a pain, but... Bloody Scarlet Fury armor. When we first can equip this. Leather armor's unique interpretation of the Scarlet Fury uniform and shows evidence of heavy use. New stitches and custom tailoring look designed to maximize flexibility while sacrificing nothing of the intended protection. Verse has sewn trinkets along the padding with care, snippets of hair, fur, and claw, pieces of iron and bronze, all likely trophies of previous kills. I mean, it's nice, but... yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to trade those. Yoink. And I'll trade these back. That should do. There we are. It's good for me. Does it change the way she looks? I think it might, actually. I mean, I wouldn't have taken... for those asking in chat, I don't think I would have taken off her Scarlet Fury armor, but the boots and the gloves, yeah, I don't mind that one so much. The rest feels like it would be a bit of a slap in the face, honestly, but the Oathbreakers already had their chance. No use in wasting cell space on traitors of Kairos. Oh, the Ochenbau carry out. Thank you. Right. Fresh straw in the corner of this prison cell absorbs much of the stench. Don't mind me. I'm just watching the troops. Okay, well, Barrack, let's have a chat. You can't make out the ironclad soldier's expression under his twisted helmet. I mean, he stares at you. Alright then, I guess we're not going to have a chat. Brona? Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentibor if you've rings to trade. Hail to you, Guardian of the Law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. You have a few excess rings weighing you down. Best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the Disfavoured suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. How did you come to work with the Disfavoured? Hard work and good supplies. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hands on hips. In Kairos wisdom, my records must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods, most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Okay, let me see your wares. Bedwar rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. I'm going to have to move around junk. Actually, no, I can access this. Ha-ha! Fantastic. I will revive when defeated. Walking Death. Some fish. All sorts of other bits and bobs. Probably sell that. Honor Guards bronze. Well, no, don't want that. Don't think any of us want it. Let's sell all of this junk so we've got some money. That bow I'll keep hold of, though. Sigil of Frost. Oh, wow. I really want it. And I can, in fact, afford it. Haha! Perfect. Amazing, in fact. Okay, trade. And with that, more spells for the spell bank. Hey, Brightstone, how you going? Got the flu and played through this 3 or 4 times, so good. I think everyone on the planet has played this but me. It's fine though, I don't care. Right, let's grab the Sigil of Frost. Using the Sigil of Frost to drain heat and energy into the void, condensing water into frost and afflicting targets with intense cold. Long and closely held secrets of the school of Boreal Frost, the mages surrendered this knowledge to Kairos after the northern general, Graven Ash, was defeated by the Overlord's forces. Frozen Grasp. Envelop a target in harsh winter cold, leaving them frozen for a time. Movement speed reduced to 3, animation speed reduced by 70%, crush armor reduced by 5. Or I can go for this. Rim Spike. Frozen Affliction. So it's exactly the same, but I got a radius on it, which is nice. 4 seconds. We could bump that up to 5. I don't think that one's as necessary though. Let's give it a little bit of extra range though. Because I don't think I can use this yet. No, I need a lot more for that one. That's fine. Okay. So 24 to 37 frost. Though, without this, is it more? No, it's not. So this is a better option. Oh yeah. Rim spike. Sure. Oink. I love the way that the runes are created. This is so good. So good! Alright. Let's have a look at this. Forge bound iron. That's something we can check out later. Table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. That makes sense. Keep an eye on the Scarlet Chorus over there. You're literally talking to one.
You didn't see nothing.
Apparently they didn't, no. Just making my rounds.
It's all in the reflexes.
Oink. 32 subterfuge. I think I may help myself to this also. Yes. More spells. More spells. Why? It's so good. What's my subterfuge up to now? 36. It's getting there. Okay, so we've got a sigil of... Oh no, I've got to learn it first. My bad. Let's go over there. Scroll contains a magical accent, which slightly increases the strength of a spell. It's an expensive one, though. Yikes. So if I wanted to make a lightning grasp spell, try an explosive surge of electrical energy, releasing it all at once on a nearby enemy, interrupting them and sending them flying back. Right, go for this one. Stunned affliction. Takes it all the way up to 50, mind. I could have that and put this on. Takes it up to 45. 8-meter push. Interrupt strong. I like this one. Charged fist. Sure. We'll grab that. Belial. I love that Aavak was all, I don't know if I want to be a main spellcaster in this game. And it's now every spell, yes! Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Pretty much how it goes, yeah. More or less. At this point, really, do you blame me though? Come on. Oh, wait. What is this? We apparently can help ourselves do something. Maybe. I mean... Thank you. Sure, I'm not going to say no to that. Let me have a look. What's your subterfuge up to now? 36 as well. What was the one back here? Seem to recall this one being at some certain level. 37, damn it. Not far off. We'll get there. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices that attempt to make the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. Mask. Why would you want to hide the smell of what you're eating? How strange. Bitter quip. By the way, you're only stealing if the icon is looting red. Yeah, I assumed as much, honestly. Otherwise, I would be much more... I'd be deliberating over every time I tried to yoink something. It's a quip. Glory to the voices of Narat. Projecting a salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Aavak, I presume. He smiles. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. Bitterquip looks at you impatiently. Okay. What is it like working for the Disfavoured? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title. One! Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitterquip sniffs at the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the Disfavoured. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the Tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. He looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices. He is Supreme Commander and Public Servant. He who sets us free, but directs all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Narat is the epitome. Epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and the chorus are one. Conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bitterquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices! What is your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of a man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the Disfavoured is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Okay. And the reason why I sneak a lot is that it's scouting. You're both stealthy and more likely to notice secrets. How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The Doctrine of Strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly, unlike most. I cried not for the life of the comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over the pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitterquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. Sounds as if you really like the voices in Riot. Bitterquip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. Well, that's all for now. Bitterquip nods as you depart. Very well. We're not going there just yet. I will take your cheese, though. From your vantage point, you see tents trail off, obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers you see appear somber and quiet. Calm before the storm. I guess that would take me inside. Can I go over there? No. Marcus. Okay. I'm Lucia. This is Marcus. The Disfavoured soldier points to the armoured man next to her. And you must be the Fate Binder? I'm going to look over this again just to refresh my memory of what it says is my role. As one of Tunon's Fate Binders, you are a travelling deputy of law, authorised to be judge, jury, and execution in Tunon's absence. You have authority over civilians and soldiers alike, though Tunon may freely destroy you should you misuse your power. Scarlet Chorus and Disfavoured soldiers are required to abide by your judgment, a fact that often offends those who feel they should only have to answer the rules put forth by their Archon. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. You've been assigned to Assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavoured ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Okay. Okay, so Hunter, I'm going to go with my backstory. Is there a spot to be found in Apex, or do we only fight amongst ourselves? If you're referring to game, the chorus hunted many of the animals to obscurity on the first wave of the conquest. Most of the meat we have to spare is salted and, perhaps more importantly, northern. I don't trust southerners to keep their livestock nourished. The few animals we keep in pens or pits are for the higher officers. I'm sure you're entitled to a haunch of something or other, and I'd love to watch you eat it just to remember the taste of fresh meat. Wow. I mean, kind of makes sense. How have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus? Ooh. Disfavoured favor 1. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Grave and Ash's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, I can spare you the time of day to cross iron. Interesting. Oh, good night, Lady Sheila. Thank you very much for spending the evening with us as well. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me of yourself, Marcus. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. Okay, that's a good start. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. Wow. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the Disfavoured. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs. Lucia, your turn. Tell me about yourself. I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be my family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. Okay, fair enough. You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia. Aye, and if you ever want some pointers on how to use that weapon of yours, just let me know. Lucia, are you flirting with Tunon's fate by day? Really, Marcus? I mean, you basically said the same thing. Are you flirting with me? Relax, Marcus. There's plenty of camp slaves if I ever need to scratch an itch. Although, through the visor of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down. Okay. If you ever need someone to warm your petrol, let me know that too. I sleep in my armor. Hope you don't mind. The logistics of that boggle the mind. How... you know what? I'm not going to ask. Not going to ask. Don't want to know. What's it like serving with the Disfavoured? In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Terratus. Unlike the chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucius shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos hosts, even if we're not always the most efficient. If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored? I mean, we already know that, so I'm not going to ask. Marcus, I'd like some training. Of course, Fatebinder. Marcus pounds a fist on his armor in salute. Okay. So I can one-handed weapon parry. I mean, I could train parry for a little bit. Sure. That's actually pretty cheap. I've got to get it a fair way though before I can get the next rank, but alright. I'm gonna run out of gold. Lucia, can I have a chat with you? Well, if it isn't the Fatebinder. Can I get some training? Finally, some fun to break up the monotony of this siege. I mean, I wouldn't mind training up some athletics a bit more, honestly, but that's a bit expensive. Alright, we'll leave it at that. That was cool. Right. Well, would you like to rest for 8 hours? No. Thank you. Let's go around here, see if there's anything more for me to see. There are cleverly hidden hatches in their armor. I mean, one would assume they'd have to be.
You didn't see nothing.
Otherwise, how would they go to the toilet? Light leather helm. Ah. Not bad. Actually, that one looks decent. Right, let me have a quick look then. These boots. Actually, I kind of want these instead. Sure, I'll wear those. This helmet is better in every way. So, sure. It's actually got lower recovery as well, which is amazing. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I realize I don't look particularly good. It's fine. I would like to compare this, though. The Ardent Bronze Sword. I wonder if this... Like we've worked out this is why they explode, but does that actually do any damage? It's decent damage versus the X. Accuracy is better. Recovery is a lot better. One-handed, yeah, okay. I mean, it's got a little bit less armor penetration, but yeah, sure. We're gonna replace the axe with that. There we go. Fair enough. Do we have... let me have a look at your bow, actually. It's no difference. Absolutely no difference, so we'll stick with that. Okay, time for us to head into the tent, then. You don't need to crouch. Oh, scroll down on the weapon and look if the effect has a damage rating. Oh, okay. Sure. Let's have a look at that then. Still learning how to pass the information in the game. No. No, I think it just literally explodes. The Archons await you inside, Fatebinder. Very well. Oh, what just happened there? Aavak discovered something.
See that?
Haha. I see.
You didn't see nothing.
Oh, actually, I don't need to worry about it. We've got... Ah, okay, some gems. Fair enough. Good enough for me. Did I get anything from that? Like, did I increase in anything? No, I'm afraid I didn't. That's a shame.